Hey guys, what's up? Coach Brandon Krause here. I got a good one for you today. It's about a question I get asked all the time. Coach, should I be shadowboxing with dumbbells in my hands? How heavy should they be? Is heavier better? Let me answer all those questions now in the next couple minutes. So the answer to the question is yes, kind of, all right? You're trying to strengthen a technique. You're trying to strengthen a movement pattern, the kinetic chain. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to have such a heavy piece of resistance in your hands that it fundamentally changes the technique. And I'll give you an example of that right now. Like, let's say I was shadowboxing these 1 pound dumbbells, right? And I'm able to recreate all my techniques and all the kinetic chain remains the same, right? And you go, well, if this is a good thing, obviously doing it with 15 pounders would be way better, right? No, because now I can't perform the same technique, the same kinetic chain as before, because instead of the resistance wanting to push out away from me like it was with those dumbbells, now everything is forcing it down, right? So really what I'm going to train myself to do if I didn't have the weights in my hands is like punch up into the air. I would change that movement pattern specifically. Think of a big league hitter, right? They're getting ready to go up on bat and they take one of those bats that has the extra weights on it, or they take 3 different bats at once and they start going through their movement patterns. They're trying to prime up their neural system, their brain, to call upon more muscle fibers than needed for that technique. They're not trying to change the technique. And that's similar to what you're trying to do when you add resistance to any technique here in the ring. So, there's dumbbells, right? But there's so many different implements that you can use, so many different modalities that you can use. Often I have these 3-pound weighted gloves. The weights are there and the fighters will put them on and we'll do everything we would do if they were just normal gloves. We'll be working the pads. I'll have them work the heavy bag. I'll be having them work all the double in bag, all the timing specific things. And this will add a little bit of resistance to it, all right? You have things like these rubber bands, various forms of this where you're gonna set that elastic behind you and now you're working it here. And this is really cool because now that resistance is coming out away from you, honestly, the way that you want it to do, not downwards, right? And you can even fasten something to like a fixed object like I've done here. So these are just 2 of those rubber bands. And all I do is start throwing my shot. And I'm adding a little bit of resistance to that punch. I'm adding a little resistance in that motion that's going away from me and not downwards. Don't go so heavy that you're not practicing the technique anymore. Don't go so heavy that the whole base of what you're doing is just to kind of keep it elevated. You want to strengthen that technique. You want to strengthen that movement pattern. And that's what's important no matter what kind of resistance you use, whether you're throwing balls, have rubber bands, have heavy weights, or have those dumbbells, all right? So, like I said, the answer is kind of, but hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, all right? Anyways, hope you dig it. Like and subscribe.